Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to iReview, and I'm your host, Jerry, and I'll be breaking down all things movies, TV shows, or whatever the hell I want to talk about. Tonight, I'm going to be breaking down the Marvel Netflix TV shows, all leading up to The Defenders, which drops on August 18th. Now, be prepared, there might be a bit of spoilers. I'll try not to do it too much. This will also help anyone who wants to start watching these shows but doesn't have a freaking clue on where to start. Alright, here we go. Let's start with Daredevil Season 1, right here. When this show started, it was amazing and mind-blowing. It starts off with Matt Murdock, who's this little boy who, if you ever read the comics, this is not really a spoiler, he gets injured and he can't see. Well, in his own way, he kind of sees through like infrared sonar type ways, and he's able to fight. And he learns how to fight through a man named Stick. And he grows up that way. Well, he's a lawyer at a place called Nelson and Murdoch. Well, he wants to do more. He wants to help people. So he goes on this crusade trying to clean up the city. And in doing so, he gains a friend and possibly loses another. You don't know. Now, Charlie Cox, and if he kind of looks familiar, he's the guy from A Theory of Everything. He is the perfect Matt Murdock. A lot better than this guy. There's also a character called Rosario Dawson, or Night Nurse. She's the link that links all these shows together. She is awesome. Rosario Dawson plays this character so perfect. And I like how Marvel kept that close to their chest. They didn't want to reveal. They were like, oh yeah, she's going to be in all the Netflix shows. And everybody suspected she was going to be Night Nurse. And a lot of people were like, we don't know who she is. If you never read the comics, you don't really know who she is. But she plays a key factor in every single one of the Netflix TV shows. And I'm sure she will in Defenders. Now let's move on to Jessica Jones, right here. Now Krysten Ritter, if she looks familiar, she was in Breaking Bad. Now Jessica Jones is a complicated character. The comics it's a graphic novel. I mean, there's some things in there they talk about some very adult things. And there's a bad guy in there called the Purple Man. Or Kilgrave. And he basically can control them by using pheromones given off by his body, and it controls the people around him. And they'll basically, it will stay in their body around, I don't know, 8 to 10 hours or something like that. As if he continues to be around you, then it'll be like you're a zombie. You'll be like slave to do whatever you want. So keep that in mind when you're thinking about Jessica Jones, who's a woman, and Kilgrave, who's in love with her, and all the things that he makes her do in the comics, and they explore that in this show. And there's a lot of side characters that come in there, and they're just as amazing. You get to see Trish, and there's a lot of Easter eggs to different things, and you even get to see Jessica Jones' actual outfit from the comics, which is pretty funny. Now, after you watch Jessica Jones, you can get into Daredevil Season 2, which is featured here. Now, Daredevil Season 2 was a step up from Daredevil Season 1, which I didn't think was physically possible. Because Daredevil Season 1 was so good. Now, Daredevil Season 2 introduced two new characters. There's the Punisher, which is played by Jon Bernthal. And if you don't know who that is, or he sounds familiar, he played Shane on The Walking Dead. And Elektra, who's a focal point of Matt Murdock's love. And these two together, it's like they broke down the series of 12 to 13 episodes and just made it like a mini 4-episode series, and it was amazing. And it was just really, really good, and introduced so many side characters. It was so entertaining, and I really hope you enjoy it. Now let's go into Luke Cage right here. Now Mike Colter, if you recognize him, he played in Zero Dark 30. Mike Colter is a relatively a newer actor. He hasn't really been in a whole bunch of things. I mean, he has quite a list on IMDb, but it's just not really a recognizable character. And if you do, it's probably from Zero Dark 30, which is probably his biggest movie. But he embodies who Luke Cage is. And like, if Jessica Jones is like the color palette for Jessica Jones, featuring around purple and the way it's set up, nice and dark and gritty. Luke Cage is featured around music and Harlem and the bad guy, which is Cottonmouth, and leading in the Diamondback, and it's just great. And his powers is something that a lot of us strive, that we would love to have, which is super strength and invulnerable skin and stuff like that. But you see the flaw to it also. Now let's get into Iron Fist right here. Iron Fist is played by Finn Jones, and if he definitely looks familiar, he's only been in one of the greatest TV shows of all time, Game of Thrones. Now, Iron Fist, his character in Iron Fist is called Danny Rand, and he is a martial arts expert who can harness his chi and turn his fist into pure energy, which is super, super strong and can basically destroy anything. And the show is decent. It didn't follow where it needed to follow. And it's a good enough show to where you can watch it and enjoy it, but you knew that it was falling off at certain points. But let's lead right into Defenders. Now, Defenders brings in a character, Sigourney Weaver, who is considered the big bad of the series. Now, this is a shorter episode series than all the rest. All the rest are 13 episodes. This is only 8 episodes. And I feel like they wanted to compact that down because they wanted to basically get more budget into each episode to make it amazing, especially coming off Iron Fist, which was critically just not good. Now, The Defenders is basically an ensemble TV show based on Daredevil, Jessica Jones, Luke Cage, and Iron Fist. They all come together to form a group and fight a big bad. Now, it's just like if you had Iron Man, Captain America, Black Widow, they all came together to form the Avengers. This is the same concept, except for instead of watching one movie a year or two movies a year, you could see this whole entire series unfold right here or right there on Netflix, and you get to binge watch it, which is amazing. So I really hope you enjoyed this. I hope this got you excited for Defenders. I hope it gets you excited to watch the Marvel Netflix shows. And I just hope that you truly enjoy it and embrace it as much as I did. And my wife knew nothing about it, and I'm a huge sweaty. I love comic books, and she loves these shows. She's looking forward to Defenders just as much as I am. So with that, I'll see you guys later. Hope you enjoyed this episode. Please comment, share, do whatever you need to do. Thanks.